This is a video solution for practice exercise 4. The goal of this practice exercise is to create a lighting layout and then analyze the space lighting parameters. We will begin by placing lighting fixtures in Exam Room 1-1. To place lighting fixtures, on the Systems ribbon in the Electrical panel, click Lighting Fixture. The first type is the pendant light linear 2-lamp, and the type is the 48-inch 120 volt. So we'll select that option, and this is a face-based family, as we can tell by the placement panel, and so we will select Place on Face, and then we will place 2 lighting fixtures in Exam 1-1. Next, we will place 2 lighting fixtures in Exam 1-2, and this time we need the Troffer light, 2x4 parabolic, and we are doing the 2x4 2-lamp, 120 volt. So make sure we have that selected, and then we will place 2 in Exam 1-2. Next, we want the Troffer light 2x4 parabolic 2x4 4-lamp and the 120 volt. And we'll place 2 of those in Exam 1-3. And lastly, we want the plane recessed lighting fixture 2x4 120. And we'll place 2 of those in Exam 1-4. And then click Modify to end the command. The next step is to review the average estimated illumination parameter for each of the exam rooms. And so we'll take a look here in Exam 1-4. Our average estimated illumination is 54.04 foot candles. In Exam 1-3 we have 72.61. And Exam 1-2 is actually 0, which is not good. And then Exam 1-1 is 47.85 foot candles. And so you can take note of those and jot them down even, so we can compare them later on. Now the next step is to troubleshoot the issue we are having here in Exam 1-2. And so there are several reasons that could lead to the average estimated illumination being 0 and not properly calculating. And so typically the first thing that I would suggest is to check the lighting fixture family. And actually that should be done before it's even placed, or I say that it should be done before it's even loaded into the project. But for this example, we'll take a look at it now. And when we open up the family, we can see that the light source is indeed enabled, and we can see it in the model, and it appears that all of the parameters are correctly specified. So we'll close that. That doesn't seem to be an issue. The next thing we will do is check for proper placement. So we can create a section view and take a look in section and see what is going on. And so we'll zoom in, and it appears that the lighting fixtures are placed correctly and that they are right in the ceiling, right where they need to be, right above the space. And so there shouldn't be any issues with the placement. And so the next thing we can check are the lighting fixture parameters. And so I'll select a lighting fixture and then click Edit Type to open the Type Properties dialog, and then scroll down to the photometrics parameters. And if we take a quick look at the light loss factor, which is used in calculating the average estimated illumination, it's specified. And the initial intensity is also a parameter that's used, and we can see that it is 0. So if we click the button to open the initial intensity dialog, we can see that the illuminance is set to 0, which is causing a 0 average estimated illumination. And so this lighting fixture should actually have a wattage of 80 watts. So we'll change that to 80 and then click OK. And now we have an initial intensity. And I'll click OK. And now we can take a look at the space parameter and see that it is now calculating our average estimated illumination. The next thing we want to do is change the lighting calculation work plane to 4 feet for each of our exam rooms. And then the next step is to review the average estimated illumination after that change. And so we can do that and take a look at each one. And so we'll select the first space and change the lighting calculation work plane to 4 feet. And we can see that the average estimated illumination increases. Do the same thing here. Once again, we see a bump of about 10 foot candles. And so obviously as our work plane is moving up, there is more light on that plane. And we'll take a look at the effect on this last one as well. And so just to summarize there, we could have selected all 4 spaces at once and made that adjustment since this is a similar parameter. But in this case, we wanted to take a look at the effect of the changing that lighting calculation work plane and the effect that it had on the average estimated illumination. So that completes practice exercise 4.